Have you checked the children? Your little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm your host, Robert Duell.
And I'm Marcia Parker, and today we're doing another Patreon! Woo! We're doing Dream Home, and this was requested by Mikey Mnemonic.
Yeah!
This one was really fun. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same.
And it's not my typical type of movie. I'm not usually a fan of like J-horror or Chinese horror in this case. I mean, sometimes it really has to grab me because there is some barriers sometimes, or it's too graphic for me, or I get lost. So it can take a minute. But this one I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was really fun. Basically, they talk about how in China there's this huge, real estate issue where everything's super expensive. These companies are buying homes out from from people and kicking them out to make these more extravagant, more expensive. And people will do literally anything to get their hands on one of these spots. And so we're following this lady who was kicked out of her childhood home as a young child because of this market, and she has strived her whole life to find a way to move back in and have that nice ocean view we all dream about. And you go back and forth through time, which can be a little confusing at times. You're trying to figure out what's happening, but you follow her journey as she makes her dreams come true.
Oh, it's a journey.
And
that's for damn sure.
So what's your overall thoughts?
I actually dug the hell out of this movie. It was a cool little, it was kind of a slasher-esque style and everything, but it was beautifully done with the gore. It was a fresh little story, nice and stylish. I dug the hell out of this movie. It was a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I really dug it, and there were some parts in there that was super hard for me to watch.
Oh man!
And it lingers on the gore, which I had to respect because most times people would.
The whole build up to this movie are those scenes and everything. It's going to be slow at times, but the build up for those scenes are worth it.
It's totally worth it, and they do not shy away. They really let it linger.
Dude, there's one scene she takes that plank to the face.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For me, the biggest one was hard. Obviously, was the pregnant lady.
Oh my that was a pretty rough scene.
Super hard.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this in the gym, folks. I'm in the middle of the gym, and if you watch this movie, or I go watch it, and you just imagine me, I'm working out, and then this craziness is just going on my screen, and I'm looking around because they really linger on some parts that I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's
whoever looks over is gonna be wondering what you're watching.
What is going on in here? But there's some really, really fun kills, and I love the fact that they don't shy and the gory. Let's talk about the gore.
Let's just jump right into the effects and gore real quick.
Yeah,
while
let's
we're on
do it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Straight up beautiful. And between so this is going to be between the effects / sound, but the sound design that they did during the kills and everything, that was nerve wracking. Oh, that was so cool because you could literally hear everything just kind of.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And because the gore was so good and the special effects were done so well,
it was very believable.
It made you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're like, this is too much but amazing at the same time. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that much of a feeling on watching a movie.
Because everybody was vulnerable.
Right.
Everybody was vulnerable. You didn't know what was going to happen. Nope. It was messed up.
Yeah, and it took me a bunch of time, oh my god, trying to connect it, and then at the end, when it's all revealed on who she targeted, why she targeted them, and just
that ending was just nice and sweet because you did all of that for what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so screwed.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing though is there's actually say Russia for example, there's actually been cases reported of people killing their neighbors just to get an apartment.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. So I wouldn't be surprised if this actually has happened.
I'm sure it's based off. So I mean, it's hard to get any sort of real estate in places like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does. I can see why the idea would have come, and I'm like, I'm surprised this idea hasn't come sooner.
Yeah,
Maybe it has.
honestly, I'm surprised Hollywood hasn't tried to remake it. They're already doing Train to Busan.
Yeah, they're probably gonna have to remake this one.
Eventually,
they're gonna rip this one off for sure, but it might be too gory for them. They'll probably make it PG-13, and it won't be as good.
Just don't give it to Blumhouse.
There you go. So we talked about special effects. We talked about the sound design being amazing.
Jump into the acting.
Let's talk about the acting. So I thought the acting was okay. Again, there was a little bit of a cultural disconnect for me because, you know, I'm watching it with subtitles and it's a different type of acting. So, but I thought everybody was believable, and I thought it did good. And the main character, I mean, just when she was killing, she was
which our main character's name is Josie Ho, and everything, and her character I believe is we're just gonna say Cheng. Just because I don't honestly remember her full name. But no, she was very believable.
Yeah.
Like, especially during the really intense scenes and whatnot. It's like, you're like, okay,
here she comes.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah, here she comes, but also, too, she had, like I said, that nice vulnerability to her where you weren't sure, like, anything, it could go sideways real quick for her.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in one scene.
And it did.
Yeah, it went real sideways real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But she handled herself, and she got on it, and she's very determined. And I thought she did a really good job. I mean, she was very strong actress for the main character, and she needed to be because, I mean, it was mostly her with a bunch of side characters, and the relationship between her and her family. When you got to that part, it was a little bit difficult because, you know, like, the acting was kind of like okay, but I cared about the characters and I cared about the family and understood her relationship and why she was doing what she was doing. And when you're a crazy bitch, I mean, you just do what you do.
Yeah. Well, mix that with also basically being beaten down via society and everything for so long, trying to get ahead and basically have your dream home. Name of the movie. But yeah.
Like, you can. Like, you're working 6 jobs, and then the purpose... You're
blowing dudes in cars to try to get extra money.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? You know, the system's rigged against you.
Yep.
You know, and you got to find your way. And she hustled, and she found her way. So, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely most check this out.
Did you have anything else to add? Or?
Not really. I think we pretty much touched on all the main points of this movie. I would just say, like, the biggest and best part of this movie is the kill scenes.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the greatest
that's
part
what
of
we're
this
here
movie.
for,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And it was worth it.
Yep.
It definitely
especially like you said with the pregnant woman and everything and just the family. It's like that.
Oh, that was so
scene.
bad.
But even the opening scene with your security guard, that straight up set your tone for the entire movie. You're like, oh, this is what you're doing.
This is gonna be messy.
Yep. Yeah, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. Thank you, Mikey, for giving us this opportunity. I definitely needed a good movie in the break of the sea of not so great movies, so I appreciate you. If you guys haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, make your notes below. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your favorite scene is. Try not to spoil too much. This movie's been out since 2010, so spoils allowed.
You got a 10-year grace period, you know. Work with
spoils are allowed. So we just didn't want to spoil it for you in case you haven't seen it yet, and we definitely want you to enjoy it. So thank you so much. If you guys want to become a Patreon member, make sure you click on the link below. You can pick whatever tier you want to, whether it's just telling us what to do or getting some cool swag along the way, which is always really nice.
And thank you again, guys, for joining us here on the Horror Show.
And remember...
Well, I've been Robert Duell. Oh, let's start again.
And remember, you're Robert Duell.
I'm somebody.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you guys again for joining us here on the Horror Show. I've been Robert Duell.
And I'm Marcia Parker.
And remember,
stay scared.